I'm joined by no other than my brother,
Tariq,
Tariq. Start of the week. I gotta ask you, my boy, how you doing? What's the middle of the week
good,
actually?
good, man. I was about to say this. God, God, man, bro.
What you got
Some bug in
going
here
on over
bothering me.
there, man? You got bugs over there. You swatting. You
So,
eating. You munching
um,
over there. I see you.
chill. You see, you ain't had to do all that.
I know.
I was chilling.
I kind of bugged out there. I
I
kind
was,
of bugged
I
out
was
there.
off the screen too. I was off the
You was
screen
off
with
the
it.
screen.
Just dry snitching.
I
It's not
just,
my fault. People show up late to pick their kids up.
I just blew the
Um,
whole spot up.
yeah, I'm talking about it.
Talk about it.
Uh,
That contributes to how your day is going. Talk about it.
so dude, because I was having a great day,
Uh-huh.
but it is what it is. I ain't gonna harp on that too much. Um, all in all, it's been a good start to the week. Celebrated my mom's birthday this past weekend. Got to
Or
see my
shout them
cousin.
out,
Got to see
Dukes.
my brother and sister. Um, so that was straight. We didn't do nothing crazy. Really just enjoyed everybody's time and company. Can't complain about that. Ate some good seafood. Definitely can't complain about that. Uh, Watched a lot of wrestling. Watched a lot of basketball. Watched some tennis. Got mad about some tennis because we lost first round, but that's okay. We move. Uh, you know, Sand or clay. Clay is not our texture anyway, so we good. Wimbledon coming up, and we're gonna get in that. So yeah, outside of that, not much. How about you, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain. I had a good little weekend myself. Um, Trying to think if I did anything exciting this weekend. I don't think I did. Just work. Um, but yeah, no. Been back at the gym, so that was good. Staying consistent with it, So there's that. A lot of good basketball on in terms of NBA playoffs and WNBA. So there's that. We're gonna unpack in this episode. As you see by the title, it's a lot to discuss with these playoff series, especially, man. You got the Thunder up 3-1. You got the Pacers up 2-1. Looking to go 3-1, or the Knicks can tie it up tonight. We'll see in a little bit as we're recording right before game 4 from Indiana, live from Indiana. Pops is back in the stadium. Mr.
That's
Halliburton
okay.
with the Halliburton. He got a suite. Or is getting they're allowing him to come to the game and be in the suite rather than being
Mm-hmm.
in the
Course not.
court side. Yeah. It's like a lot of Pops was wilding, bro. Like y'all good, you passionate, you happy for your boy, you happy for your son, as any father would be in that moment, seeing their son advance to the next round of the playoffs. I mean, but he overstepped the boundary, but it's good to see that he's able to be back in the building now. So outside of that, man, I'm good. I can't complain, bro. Um, yeah. But anyway, let's get into this episode. Like I mentioned, we got the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Pacers are up 2-1 at the time of recording. The Thunder are up 3-1 at the time of recording as well. Hey, yo. Let me put my phone do not disturb. All right, there you go. And let me tweet out the link. All right. But yeah, definitely like to talk about the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals. I think when we were on this topic last week, these series were just starting. Thunder were up 1-0, and Knicks and Pacers series just started. Is there anything that catches your eye or anything that is surprising to you from these series?
Um, I would say the shooting of Aaron Neesmith.
Yes.
I mean, he's always been a good
Oh
shooter,
my
but
goodness. Yes.
6 of 7 in the fourth quarter
Went
in
eight and
game
nine in
one,
that
like,
game, bro. Charles's finest. 843, we in the building.
anyways,
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You you
anyways,
you you knew it was coming. You can't be mad. This is your hometown
Anyways,
too.
that's not. Bro, don't play with me. Bro. That's not my hometown. That's not where I'm from. Stop playing with me, Jay. Anyways, like I was saying, I would say Neesmith shooting, not necessarily like the percentage, but more so the volume. Um, and I would say especially in the first game, the shooting percentage of both teams, it felt like neither teams were missing. And I don't think the defense was necessarily bad on either side. Um, so that was interesting thing. And then game two, I was a little surprised that the Knicks didn't come out with that one. I was surprised that
Yeah,
they decided to bench Cat pretty much. He only played 27 minutes. I think Josh Hart played 28. Um, and they still had a chance to win that game, both games. Obviously, they had the lead in game one and ended up giving that up. Them going to overtime. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton hit a crazy shot, sent them into overtime. Um, hit the choke sign in
yeah.
uh in the same direction as Reggie Miller,
Point at
which
him.
was crazy to see. And then
Yeah,
game three,
what a moment, man. What a moment.
yeah,
I'm
that
sorry,
was
I got to speak of that moment for a little bit, man. I think things happen for a reason, and it's like perfect timing, bro. And it's like it's what makes like this series will be talked about in a few years, let alone this year. Like this is how organic rivalries happen, you know. Like I remember for years when we would talk about things on the regular about like there's no big rivals in the league, and it's like well hasn't been anything that's happened really. There's a lot of moving around of sorts between players before these rivalries even built up. Um, so it's like last rivalries I really remember for real before these playoffs or before like this current era. You had what? Um, excuse me. You had Boston, Miami. That was a big one. Yeah, Miami and the Pacers. That was a big one. That was more so. That was a little while. That was about like 10 years ago. Um, you got. I want to say. I'm trying to think. Oh, who else? Cavs and Warriors. I don't know why I couldn't think of Cavs and Warriors. Cavs and Warriors, biggest rivalry that we've seen in the last 10 years. Um, I mean, outside of that, though, it's been like small playoff rivalries that don't even last that long because, I mean, granted, you got the Warriors and the Grizzlies that was building up a little bit, but they didn't meet each other in the playoffs nearly as enough for them to have that type of or like for them to have significant games to where they would have a significant rivalry. You know, like if the Grizzlies made it to the second round, or I'm trying to think, yeah, if the Grizz no, I still wouldn't work. Yeah, it just wouldn't have been or a way they would have been able to see each other in the playoffs unless they both made it to the conference finals, which was a far stretch for either team. Well, I don't say a far stretch for either team, but just wasn't in the realm for them to do so this year. But speaking back towards Tyrese Halliburton in the shot, that shot, I was at work and I ran around the whole store. Because I was watching the game on my break. And then I'm just sitting there. I'm like, damn, I'm about to miss like the last couple minutes or whatever because my break's about to end. So I pull up my phone. I saw he hit the shot at the back of the room, came back up, came down, all net. I went crazy. Everybody's like, Bryce, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I'm great. Tyrese Halliburton just beat the Knicks. Or at least I thought he did. Then they got to overtime. My phone goes dead. I didn't get to see the overtime, but I caught up on it and missed the 5 picks. Missed the 5 picks with the game losing turnover. Tariq is already tired of me, man. This is this is
so
foul
Brunson and
number
Cat
two.
didn't miss the three to tie it.
This is you said what?
Brunson and Cat didn't miss the three to tie it.
That's not the part I saw. I saw I
Oh,
saw
okay.
I saw Mikal Bridges. fumbled the ball out of bounds.
And they still got another chance to win it. 2 more chances to win it or to tie the game. They're 2 best players. So if we
Hey,
really want to go that route, we can
it's
go
a make or
route of
miss
money.
league. It's a make or miss
Oh,
league.
it's a catch or drop. It's a catch or drop league,
Yeah, you either make the pass or you miss the pass.
right? You need to make a shot or miss a shot.
Exactly.
So I guess we just pick and choose what we want to talk about to make fun of, but that's okay.
I already got 2 fouls on the game. I'm in foul trouble already.
Hey,
Nah, but anyways, though, Tyrese Halliburton definitely gave us a classic playoff moment there with his shot, and I'm glad that he was able to get his moment with the because everybody was like already making the edits of him on Reggie Miller's head and stuff, or no, like, putting his head on Reggie Miller's body, doing the choke, and I'm glad he was able to get the moment off, and he was like, yeah, if I thought he was like, if I knew that it was a 2 and not a 3, I wouldn't have done it because I thought we won the game, and I'm not doing it again because then I'll be oil farming. Which I like the fact that we got Gen Z lingo in NBA press conferences in 2025. But
not me.
but nah, definitely cinema here in terms of the Knicks and Pacers. But back to what you were saying. I just wanted to talk about that
Uh,
game one because that was insane.
yeah, I just think game 3 was really interesting just because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, at different parts I was like, damn, the series is over. I guess the Knicks just don't want to win. Because it just felt like they have all the capabilities of winning this series. They have all capabilities of winning all 3 games thus far.
Yeah.
And obviously they've only won the one. And Brunson was in foul trouble, Cat was in foul trouble, and I felt like it's a game 3. You're down 2-0, you're on the road. Like at a certain point, you just got to play Jalen regardless of whatever foul trouble he's in. DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet gave them great minutes in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Cat had 20 points into the fourth quarter alone. Um, and again, like I've been saying this for years and years, but people need to start respecting Cat and the player that he is. And I get people want to make the jokes and be all weird and shit like that. But at the end of the day, that dude is a great basketball player and he's a better basketball player than anybody talking and making jokes about him
Mm.
online. So keep making your jokes. He's gonna keep making plays. And then if we really want to keep it a buck, look at the woman that he's with and look at the woman that you're probably not with.
Tariq said he got time today. Tariq said he got time today. Talk young man.
I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like people
Talk
just
to
keep
him.
making the same jokes about bruh, and it's
Oh my gosh.
like I get it at first, and it's like, okay, I get it, but every day is some new video. Like y'all
After
really think
all
it's funny, but
that,
it's really just goofy. See, here you go.
I just mentioned it because it's funny. All
You
right.
didn't have to. You didn't have to. It's a reason I didn't say the stuff that they were saying.
Okay.
But
I
it
mean,
is what it is. Like
I ain't talking about the other stuff. You know, I ain't talking about the seasonings. But
like I said, people make all the jokes they want. They go home to the girl that they either have or don't have, and wish they had what he got. So keep making your jokes. He gonna keep making plays in the conference finals in the NBA. You go home to whoever he wants to, and you're gonna be living in wherever, wishing that you could do that. So, um, yeah. So shout out to Cat. 20 points in the fourth quarter. Um, absolutely dominant. Whether it didn't matter who they put on him. If they put smaller guy on him, he went to the rim, dunked on him. If he had a big guy on him, he stepped out, shot the three. There was a couple plays where I'm like, all right, you kind of wilding with that one, but I mean, they don't win that game, and their season is basically over if he doesn't do what he did. So, uh, definitely shout out to him. And the fact that they were able to win that game with Jalen Brunson having a very subpar game for his standards, um, it's huge for their confidence. I would feel like. I mean, I don't think any of the starters outside of Cat really had a great game. I think Josh Hart was good. being Josh Hart, but he wasn't. I don't think any of Mikal, OG, Jalen were, you know, exceptional. And Cat honestly wasn't very good until the fourth quarter anyway. So, um, huge shout out to Deuce McBride. He was huge. Mitchell Robinson was huge. Then again, Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright came in and gave great minutes. But this is the game where you definitely need those guys that you paid a lot of money and those guys that you spend a lot of draft picks on to come in and make plays and help you win this game because they win this game. The pressure is all the way on Indiana. You don't want to take two on the road and then go home and lose both at home, and then you have to go back to Madison Square Garden because if they go back to Madison Square Garden 2-2, that crowd is
It's
going to
anybody's
be
ball game. That's the best of three series,
electric.
and they got
Yeah,
two
it's the best
games
of three at that point.
I say they got 2 games they would have 2 games in MSG rather than having a game. I mean, they want to in MSG to start the season, the series off, but I do agree they gotta take care of business tonight, being at the crib. You know, like you listen. I think they have to they have to set the pace. No pun intended. But from the get go, they got to play they got to control the tempo. They got to play fast, and they have to do what they can to limit Brunson because the ball's gonna be in his hands a lot, and we all know a lot of their scoring comes from him. But saying Tom Carnegie Towns had an amazing second half, as you mentioned. I think he was. Is it a stretch to say the most dominant player on the court during that second half? Like
No, absolutely not.
as you mentioned, bro, like he was getting busy, getting to it. And he is a very dynamic player in his own right. And when he's at his best, bro, it's not a lot of people that you could put in front of him. So I'm gonna need Pascal to go man for man, bro. I'm gonna need Nemhard. I'm gonna need Neesmith. I'm gonna need Ben Mathurin. I'm gonna need the role players outside of Halliburton and Pascal to really step up. Because if not, it's gonna be a scary series for the rest of the series, man. Like I don't want to say I can see the Knicks winning 4 straight games, but the possibility is there. Because on paper, this team coming into the series, this team is the better team. Now the Pacers match up well against the Knicks, but I think there's not a better team in the East, other than the Celtics, than the Knicks. This is the best team playing against a team that can compete with them. This was the series is. Now they blew a lead, and I had a feeling they were going to blow a lead watching that game one. Game two, it just felt like they didn't want it. And it felt like that again in game three until the end of that game, where the Pacers just kind of just fell apart and let them go on a run. Like this has been a series of runs. This has been a series of runs. They couldn't stop the bleeding in game three, and that's why the Knicks won. But ultimately, though, yeah, I would say the pressure's more so on Indy because they're up and they're up with things playing into their favor. They can go up 3-1, win a night. They can afford to lose game 5 because they got a game 6. They'll have a game 6 at home. But you don't want to get to that point to where you're like, hey, now we got to make up cover ground. If we do lose this game 4, we got to try and win one and put the pressure on us even more to win one game 5 in the Garden and in a hostile environment. You just don't want to give yourself that predicament, man. You want to ease the pressure on getting to the next round, getting to the finals. So Pacers just gotta do what they gotta do to take care of business.
Yeah, I think there's pressure on both sides.
For sure, most
Obviously
definitely.
the Pacers don't want to give up home court, give back home court. And while I feel like the Knicks wouldn't feel terrible going down 3-1, like I feel like they would still be pretty confident in being able to win a couple of games to make it a game 7 at home.
Yeah.
Because as much as like as often as we see through on leads and we don't see comebacks, in reality, when it gets to a 3-1, you just need to win one game. And if the teams are even, um, or like you might have the best player on the court each game or the best player in that series, you just got to get one game, and the momentum can shift just like that. We've seen it with
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland and Golden State. We've
Yeah,
seen it with
literally.
Cleveland or with
They
Golden
took it
State and
one game
OKC.
at a time, bro.
One game at
One
a
game
time.
at a
That's all
time.
you
They're
got to
like,
do.
yo, let's just
Win
win this
one
game.
game,
Focus on this game.
and you don't know what's
Focus
gonna
on the
happen
next
next.
game. Like, don't focus on game 7. Let's get to game 7. All right, let's focus on game 5. So, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely an upward climb for New York. That's definitely not a position you want to put yourself in. But them being a team that they are, they can definitely get themselves out of this position, winning this game tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a big statement game for a lot of players. Hopefully Neesmith isn't his injury isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't seen whether or not he's playing tonight. I would assume he is since it's a playoff game. Um, but I will say Cat needs to still be that aggressive as he was in the fourth quarter. Like not just shooting shots, but getting good shots.
Yeah.
Um, I think they gotta find a way. They gotta either pick and choose whether they want to try to slow down Halliburton or if they want to slow down everybody else. If you want to
Yeah.
make Halliburton a scorer and make him think score first, or you want to make him be himself and allow him to get off and the other players to get off. You can't let Siakam get 40, Neesmith get 17, Nimhart get 14, Turner get 12, and then Halliburton get 18, 19. That's not a recipe for a
You
win
losing
if
the
you're
game
New
that
York.
way.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That
And
sounds like a Knicks loss to me.
they have the defenders. I know Indiana's a really good offense, and I know they've given a lot, like almost every team problems, and I think they were like number 2 or 3 best teams, net rating wise, offensive and defensive rating wise, since the new year started. So that's about a 4 or 5 month span.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like New York has the defenders to try to slow that down or to be able to slow it down even a little bit. Like I don't know, I feel like they sometimes it's bad communication, but sometimes I feel like they they stress themselves out. Like they overhelp or they think too much or they try to make a play and there's no need to try to make the play that they're trying to make. If they just play straight up defense, I think they'll be fine. But I feel like they end up making so many mistakes and they try for so many different things. Like just playing straight up, they make a tough shot, they make a tough shot. Like you just gotta shake the hand and go back the other way. But I feel like a lot of times they stress out over the moment. I don't want to say over the moment, but they stress out over a particular play. They get a foul that they don't need to get, things like that. But um, I'm interested to see who New York goes to on the bench. They changed the starting lineup last game, putting Mitchell Robinson in, taking Josh Hart out. Um, and I thought that was interesting. To bench Josh Hart for Mitch Rob, and it's more of like how good Mitch Rob has been than Josh Hart being bad. Um, but I feel like it's better for Mitchell Robinson to still come off the bench just because if Cat is to get into foul trouble, Mitch Rob has already been out there, and you don't want to play him a ton of minutes. So obviously they're probably not going to go back to the Josh Hart one at this moment since they won last game. But I wouldn't say they won that game because they started Mitch Rob. So I'm
Duh.
interested to see what that looks like and things like that. But
Because that game
um,
started off like the Patriots started off pretty good, and like
yeah,
they had to lead for what
they had
three
to lead
quarters
for
of
the
that
whole
game.
game.
Yeah,
They lead for the whole game. I thought this series was over. I was
I thought
pissed.
it was too. I
I
thought
was
it. Yo,
sitting
Hallie threw that oop
and
to
Lil was like, "It's
Obi.
not over yet." And I was like, "They playing like
Hallie
they
threw
don't want to
that
hoop."
oop to Obi. I said it's done.
So did Hallie. He started celebrating like it was over.
They got a little
Cat
too
said, "No,
comfortable.
it's not."
Listen, I ain't
But
listen.
yeah,
Triple zeros on the board, man. You got to play it through. But anyways, man, definitely an exciting series so far. Looking forward to seeing how the series shapes out. Um, Series could be over by the next time we get on air. So
hopefully not. It's been a great series. So I hope this
hopefully
one keeps
not.
going.
Then again, hopefully it is.
He said with a New York hat on. Fake New Yorker.
Listen,
Wait, my fault. Not a New Yorker.
I'm not a New Yorker. I'm a South Carolinian, but my family's from New York.
Where your South Carolina had at?
In a room.
How many you got?
How many South Carolina hats? I got what? Maybe 2, I think.
Not as many as New York, huh?
Not nearly as many as New York.
Interesting.
Not even a fraction as many.
Interesting.
I want to say I got like 4, either 3 to 4 River Dogs hats. So if you want to count those. So that's what 5 South Carolina South Carolina team hats.
Hashtag noticing.
Notice on.
But
my lineage is here.
Neither here nor there.
Family is here.
We got another
family
series
here
to talk
too.
about.
Yes, we do, man. Let's go out west with it. Got my directions the wrong way. Being on the camera, you gotta. Anyways, out west with it. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder up 3-1 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves with a big win. In game 3. I was like, that was loud. Minnesota Timberwolves with a big win in game 3. With a big performance from Anthony Edwards and the boys. They really limited Shea in that game too. And it's crazy. Hold on, before we even get too deep into the nitty gritty of the series, this foul baiting narrative about Shea is crazy because they done did the stats. Bro, don't be foul baiting not nearly as much as y'all claiming he does. And then on top of that, he was getting more fouls when they were trash versus them getting fouls when he was good, when they're good now. You go look at the list of the MVPs from the last however many years. I think Shea rated or was ranked towards the bottom of that list of MVPs free throw attempts. Like, numbers don't lie. But you know who do lie? These people on the internet that pushing these agendas, pushing these narratives. See, you can't believe everything with a blue check these days because you can pay for that. Even back before the blue check was official stamp, before you could pay for the blue check, still couldn't believe a blue check because they lack the intellect. You can have a blue check with no intellect. Anyways, man, y'all gotta stop with the Shea foul bait and stuff. If y'all want to keep that same energy for everybody that does it. And I'm gonna just leave it there because I can go deep. I'm gonna just leave it there. Pause.
I'm gonna just leave it there. I can go deeper. I'm gonna just leave it there. Egregious work.
Clipping that. Anyways, man, Timberwolves and Thunder. Thunder up 3-1 on the Timberwolves. Thunder kind of found themselves again in game 4, which is big, going back to Oklahoma City for game 5. We saw a great performance from from Jalen Williams. He stepped up. J-Dub. Jalen Williams as in J-Dub.
I thought he lost his nickname.
No, I had to clear.
It was one game and you was tweaking. Yeah, okay.
I was just wanting to be funny that game or that night. I don't know.
Try to take another way. Right? Take away another grown man nickname to be funny. What do you think? You Kevin Hart?
I don't think I'm beat up.
No, we took that away. Remember?
I know.
No, we took that away. Remember? We took that away.
Yeah, you can never take away.
Too late.
Can never take
away.
Already did. But anyways, I think the series is over. I think the Timberwolves can stretch it to game 6, but it's not very likely, you know. Um, but yeah, Thunder looked impressive. I'm just more so worried about the Timberwolves and how they look. We see Anthony Edwards put up a couple poor performances in this series. Rudy Gobert hasn't been great in this series either. Julius Randle has been up and down.
No, stinky. He's been stinky.
Well, what he had a great game one, I want to say.
He had
Was
a
that
good
game?
game 3 when everybody had a good game 3.
But I could have sworn he had a good game one too. Am I not tripping?
It wasn't good enough. He didn't score in the second half. He scored like 4 points in the second half.
Mm.
1 points in the first half, and they got blown out in the second half. And at game 1, they got blown out in the second half of game 2. I care about the context of when they scoring.
Okay, yeah, no, he had. Let's see. Yeah, game two. Or no, just no, it's not game two. What am I doing? Game one had 28. Game two had 6. Game three had 24. Game four had 5.
I think he had 20 points at halftime
In the half, yeah, that first
of
half,
game
got to
1.
be at game one. Yeah, he had 28 and 8 in that game. So, but yeah, no, it's a lot that the Wolves have to get after, just do. You know, like I mean, I'm impressed by the Terrence Shannon minutes because he gave a good production when he came into the game. But ultimately, though, they need to figure out a way to crawl their way back into this series because if not, they're going right back home, and this would be the second year in a row that they make it this far and just get outplayed by a wide margin. Or I don't even say get. It's like they compete for a little bit, and then it's just like, you know what, I don't want to be up the part, like, It's like I don't say that it's not like they don't want it for real, but it's like they just haven't performed well to get there. They made it all the way up to this point, and they show why they shouldn't be here instead of showing why they should be here. Is how I see this team. And it starts with Anthony Edwards, man. He's the leader of this team. He's the focal point of this team. He's the man of this team. He's supposed to be the guy next up, face of the league. And I mean, he had a good game three. Sweet mentioned everybody had a good game three. But yeah, what are your takes on this Wolves series, man? Like, and how I don't say worried, but how worried should Wolves fans be being down 3-1?
1 out of 10, panic meter 10.
10. Sheesh.
The series is over. The series is wrapped.
Sheesh.
They're not winning OKC in game 5. I'll be super shocked. Game 1 and 2, first half of both of those Timberwolves were very good. I think they even had the lead going in the half in game 1. That didn't last long in the second half. Game 3, Wolves came out. Julius came out, hit like 3 tough shots to start the game. And got hot, had I think 18 in the first quarter. Maybe a 15, one of those. And then Terrence Shannon Jr. came in second quarter, had a great second quarter. And then they were able to just carry that for the rest of the game. And then for like the last quarter and a half, it was, the bench players from each team playing. But last night's game, I was disappointed. I don't want to take it as far as some talking heads have. I was disappointed, and maybe I need to go back and watch just Anthony Edwards' possessions or just like strictly the Wolves' offensive possessions. But I feel like there was times where Ant definitely could have been more aggressive. The fact that he took the 4th most shots last night was a little eye-opening to me for a guy that is normally a score first guy, shoot first guy. Obviously, I'm not saying take shots over 2, 3 guys, but if you can force the issue and get some guys in foul trouble or something, just different things that can help your team out. And that's not to say he didn't because he made the right play, making passes out to teammates. And 3 of his teammates had 20+ points. So that's really what it is. It's like you had 3 guys score 20+, and none of them were named Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle. You feel like you win that game. You're like, oh, that means that means Ant, was doing his thing or made plays late. And the last couple of minutes, it didn't even seem like he was on the court for real. And I think part of it is Chris Finch. And I'm not saying that Chris Finch is a bad coach or anything, but if Shea is the MVP and has been averaging 30 for the last 4 years and can still get whatever shot he wants at whatever time he wants, that's a problem. Because when you send Ant down the other way, he's not getting the same shots that he wants. If he gets the shots that he wants, he has to work really hard to get them. Shea does not have to do the same. Obviously, the game plans, or not the game plans, the personnel is a little bit different on each side. But I don't think J-Dub is just that much better than a Julius or a Jaden McDaniels, to where, like, obviously he's better than Jaden McDaniels, but even like Chet to the next best guy, like, I just don't feel like it should be that difficult to try to choose. Again, like I said with Halliburton, you got to either slow down Shea and see what the rest of the team can do, or you got to slow down the rest of the team and make Shea just go get 50, but a tough 50 where it might not help his team. But you're allowing him to get 40 and J-Dub get 34 and Chet get 21. That can't happen as a coach and as a defense. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do out there, but you can't give up almost 100 points to 3 players and expect to win a game. And the fact that they were that close is what's even more mind-boggling to me. It's like, at what point were you going to stop leaving J-Dub wide open for threes? Dude's been able to shoot for the last 2 seasons. I don't know why the guy that they were deciding to help off was J-Dub. And when they're leaving to help, it's not even at a good time. It's at an easy opportunity for Shea to just make that pass over to the corner. J-Dub got wide open 3, wide open wing 3, wide open corner 3. I'm like, y'all leaving an all-NBA guy wide open, like he not gonna make that shot. Lou Dort gonna make that shot. Caruso gonna make that shot. So why wouldn't J-Dub? They kept doing it over and over again. And it just felt like the small plays they needed to make, they couldn't. They kept answering scoring-wise, but the stops that they needed to get to try to make a run to get the lead, the loose balls that they needed to get, the extra possessions that they needed to get, they didn't get any of those, especially in the third and fourth quarter when the game was super, super close. And it's a margin. It's just a margin. Like, you're a possession away, you're a steal away, you're a 2 stops away from taking the lead and maybe getting, the crowd into it even more, or putting pressure on a certain player to where that shot that when they're tied or when they're up 3 feels different than when they're down 3 or down 4. But you never got them to that point, so you can't say like, oh, we got them, on their heels and they were able to make a play. They were able to make a comeback. They never felt uncomfortable. You made them feel uncomfortable in game 3, but you didn't in game 4. And yeah, I just don't understand how. Obviously, it's coaching and scheming and all that, but Shea can go out and get 40, and obviously, I don't think he shot super well from the floor, but I think he shot 13 of 28. So that means he was still aggressive when he shot the ball.
13
He
to
shot
30.
28 shots, 13 of 30. So he got 30 shots on the
30 and
from the
40.
field, and then probably shot 8 to 9 free throws at least. So I'm just trying to figure out how he can get that many shots, and they can find ways to make those shots easy. And y'all can't get Anthony Edwards any easy shots at all. The only easy shots that Ant has gotten all series is the fast break dunks. Outside of that, he's had to work super hard to get to the rim and get a layup, to get to the rim and get a dunk, to pull up and shoot a 3.
Shea shot
And it's
14 free
just
throws.
so 44 shots total, including free throws. Like,
And
you
shot
gotta find
20
ways.
free throws, 5 of 13 from the field.
Yeah, you gotta find ways to get him easier shots. And this may not even be for this next game or the rest of this series. I'm talking about for the future, because this happened last year. Like, you have certain guys around him, but certain teams, when you get to this point of the season, they're gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna make the other guys beat me. Like Chris Finch doesn't know whether he wants the role players to beat him or the star, and then both do. Because
He tied
when the Mavericks
for
played him last year, Luca played
yeah.
well, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derek, like everybody was getting their work. So
Anthony
it's like,
Edwards last night
make up your
tied
mind.
his career, not career. He tied for the lowest amount of shot attempts this playoffs from him was last night, and then again in game one of this series as well. 13 shots. He
Yeah,
hasn't gone lower
and
than 13 shots in any other game outside of game two against the Warriors and went 6 from 13.
yeah, a lot of
But
that
yeah,
is
no, I
credit
agree
to
though.
OKC. Like
I
their
agree
defense
though.
is that they do have the best defense in the league. They have
I agree.
one of the best defenses, and by numbers, they have one of the best defenses of all time.
Yes.
So I understand, like they just did the same thing to Jokic, but
Yes.
you gotta like it's easier to get a shooting guard open than a center,
Yeah, and I would think so, especially with
especially
Anthony
one as
Edwards' skill
athletic as
set.
Ant.
But Anthony Edwards' skill set, I would say Anthony Edwards' skill set compared to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's skill set is not that big of a drop off between the two. I would
No,
say it's not a. It's like I would say Shea nearly edges.
Shea's a more
And
natural jump shooter and scorer.
yeah, where you got
I don't
Anthony
think
Edwards who
he's
led
like
the
a way
league in
better player
threes
slash
this
scorer.
year. You got Anthony Edwards who
Mhm.
led the league in threes this year and can freaking slash. He plays like the dream my player that I create every year for 2K. Like, and you mean to tell me he can't get more shot attempts or more ways to shoot, more ways to score? He's in a game where he's putting up 13 shots. This is the third time he's done that in this postseason. You don't win a game like that. I'm sorry. That's not being aggressive. They lost this game by how much? Lost the game by 2.
Yeah, he didn't even get a shot up. The last shot of the game, he didn't even get up. Or last possession of the game, he didn't even get up. Now, granted, they started fouling, but it was point three, and they didn't even
Yeah.
throw it to Ant. They tried to throw a lob to Rudy Gobert, like he
Rudy
was actually
Gobert,
going
I
to catch it.
remember, yeah. Rudy freaking Gobert.
Mr. Butterfingers himself.
Rudy freaking Gobert. Man, Rudy Gobert. You saw what Pierre said about Rudy
Yes, I
Gobert, how he
did.
went off.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
He captured what almost a bunch of people feel like in terms of Rudy Gobert. He should be a far better player offensively because of his size alone. Like, you mean to tell me you in the league this long, playing at this level, and you not? I don't want to say he's not working, but it doesn't show like he is working to get better, or showing like he is trying to be a dominant big, like he is supposed to be at that size. You would think looking at Rudy Gobert, just looking at him. Oh, this guy might be he got like a Tim Duncan kind of build, or he got like a build of a guy who should be a dominant post presence, you know. Instead, he doesn't look to score. He doesn't look to be like. I understand all the criticism behind him. Why he gets as much criticism as he does. He does not when he's out there on the floor. Catch a rebound, block shots. Cool. You're the biggest person on the court. You're supposed to do that. Elevate your game to another level. And then he had the nerve. I don't even want to go there with this, but he had the nerve to get upset when he was an All-Star.
All right, that was years and years ago.
That was years ago. But that's something that
And
I think about.
that was more of a personal thing than it was like a professional thing.
That was
Not
something that I thought about. Well, probably because just now I thought about it. It's something that I think about because it's like, bro, you gotta show us that you are capable of playing at a high level. Show us you this all-star you want to be. Show us.
I mean,
It's the
Draymond made his
playoffs.
triple off
Y'all
defense.
are
Why couldn't
games
we?
away from the freaking finals. Act like you want to be there. Play like you want to be there. This not the time to just be like, oh, I just ain't got it today. You better have it today, or you going home. And for some of y'all, this is the closest y'all getting to a finals.
They went there last year, yeah.
Did they
You
get to the
saying that like
finals though?
you saying that like
But
this
did
is
they
the
get to
only
the
year they're gonna
finals?
be there.
Did they get
They've
to the
been there
finals?
back to back
Did they
years.
get to play
The
for the
series not
Larry
even over yet.
OB? It's
The
not.
series not even over yet.
It's not. It's not. And they need to play like it ain't over. They need to come into that game 5 back against the wall, ready for it all. Julius, Rudy, Anthony. That's all I gotta say. I'm not even a Wolves fan, but I'm just saying that's what I would say to the Wolves there. You know?
Yeah. I do want to give credit to the Thunder because
Oh yeah, shout out to
they've
them.
been the best team all season. They, had a disappointing finish last season, finishing in the semifinals, conference semifinals, I should say.
Yep.
To Dallas, came back this year, brought in Hartenstein, brought in Caruso. Both of them have played huge roles, both in the playoffs and the regular season. And again, they have top offense, top defense in the league. Um, Players that know their roles every place, whether they come off the bench, whether they start. No one feels like they're bigger than the team. Shea got MVP. He had all his teammates with him. Um,
Donald
got them all
Rose.
gifts, things like that. Um, every
That
time
man
somebody
Shea,
does a post game
Shea,
interview, the team is with them, team is behind them.
that man Chet said my wrist
They've
think
been
it's important.
um, they've they've shown all season that they are the best team in the league, and I think that's a little bit of what we're seeing. It's just the Timberwolves aren't that far off, but in terms of talent, but in terms of chemistry and just belief in one another and scheme, the Thunder are just a step ahead. Um, and anybody can be blown out on any given day. So game 3 could be looked at as a anomaly or a throwaway game, but um, the Thunder have been phenomenal on defense. Alex Caruso he went from guarding Jokic to helping guard Ant. You got J-Dub out there guarding Ant. You got um, Aaron Wiggins and, you know, Casey Wallace, who's been phenomenal all through the playoffs with his defense. Like, there's just so many different people they can throw at um, Ant throughout the series to try to slow him down. And then he's also seeing bodies when he gets to the rim or when he tries to get into the paint. So, um, yeah, as much as we look at Minnesota and say, hey, y'all need to be doing this, it's easy to say that as we sit here watching it on TV than, you know, doing it in the game and doing it against the team that statistically is one of the best defenses ever. So,
Yeah.
um, the Thunder are just that good, and they've proven that all season long, and they're continuing to prove that. And looks like they're about to go to the NBA Finals, and I'm just saying good luck to whoever gets there because the NBA Finals might not be very long.
No.
That's how good the Thunder have been all season and in this
Yeah,
playoffs.
it's spooky for whoever come out East because I feel like with the East, Thunder they take care of their series. They win tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's when they play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they win tomorrow
It's
night.
the other
Win
night.
game 5. It's wraps for. I don't want to say wraps, but it's like you got West Conference Finals getting wrapped up, and then the East Conference Finals are just a slugfest. Really, like they're gonna be Knicks win tonight. We got a best 3 series now, and at that best 3 series, I'm thinking it's gonna go to that 7th game. Grant, if the Pacers win tonight, I think they got a good chance of winning this in 6. So, just a matter of who wants it more. Because that's really what's been a deciding factor in these games. That you see what team wants it more. It's not like these teams are losing. Well, I mean, you see last night the Wolves lost at the end of that game, or it was a close game there. And then in terms of Knicks
We gotta
Pacers,
stop the fouling. Up three fouling. That's weak to me. I know it's the smart thing to do, but come on, bro. It's game four of the conference finals. If you can't get a stop, you don't deserve to win. Fuck that.
yeah,
And if you're in the comments and you got something to say, don't say it. Leave it to yourself. This is
no,
how
say
I
it.
feel. I don't care how
Yep.
y'all feel. I know it's a smart thing to foul when you up three. Stop doing that. I want to see somebody either make the shot or miss the shot. I want to see somebody make the shot or miss the shot. Come on, man. Play some defense. That's a pride. You want to be a champion? Get a stop. So much foul, foul. We watching the game and no free throws. The game was this high, and then for the last 45 seconds, and it took 5 minutes to do them 45 seconds because free throw, foul, free throw, foul, free throw. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Ain't nobody paid to watch that. Come on, man. Get a stop.
No,
They won the game. It's
I
cool, but
wholeheartedly
get a
agree
stop,
there.
man.
I wholeheartedly agree there.
Jeez. It's boring. I almost
Yeah.
fell asleep. I was excited before that. Come on, man. Shit, what? Tired of that.
Headband for men.
Get it together, man. Get a
Yeah.
stop. Shout out K Mac, man. K Mac is back. It's up. It's up. It's up.
It's up.
What's up? Smoke. That's what's up. We want it
It's
for
show.
everybody, especially that hat. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yup.
We're gonna switch over to W talk for the next few. Um, it's been a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly. These first couple weeks in the WNBA, we got the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx holding down the fort, being undefeated. Um, take care of business, really. Natasha Cloud is fitting right in with the team in New York. Um, they look dominant once again. It doesn't look like there's a team that can beat them outside of the Minnesota Lynx at this moment. Um, speaking of the Minnesota Lynx, they're good. As I mentioned, undefeated. Defeats Clyde
Good.
on the MVP. Hand her the trophy now. All right, hand Nafisa Clyde. Kathy just needs to. Here you go. Like, just hand her the trophy now. Cause like that stretch of games, man, man, phenomenal, ridiculous. I don't know if that rolls off the tongue well, but I tried it a couple times. It's ridiculous, but oh, see, it did that time. Anyways,
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
She just blocked Skylar Diggins 3. Come on now. Come on. Defensive player of the year for a reason. She does this. But yeah. Definitely some good, some bad, some ugly. Speaking of some bad, Mason's got mollywopped
Yeah,
by
they two
Seattle.
and two, and they two ain't good.
And they
That
barely
two
got the
ain't good.
Mystics. Let's be real.
Right. They played around
Barely
that
got the
game.
Mystics.
They want to win that game at the end of the game.
Barely
I mean,
got the Mystics, man. Come
shout
on
out
now.
to Drew Lloyd and her shot making ability, but like, gang, we don't need to be
And she was like 2 of 7 the whole game. So
like, come on,
they lucky she made that.
like we don't need this
Just
right now,
saying.
gang. We need to lock in, lock down. You know, like we need to take care of business out the gate. We don't need to be playing around like this team's hanging around. Not at the same time. Shout out to the Washington Mystics, Kiki Iriafen, Kiki Iriafen, my fault, and Sawyer Citron been putting on for Washington. Big dogs, not no little pups. They rookies, but they big dogs. And it's crazy to see how things have worked out for that team. And I'm actually happy that things have worked out for that team way that they have as well. But let's talk about it, man. What teams are you worried about heading into week 2 of the WNBA season?
This is week 3.
Oh, week 3.
This
My
is second week,
my
so like
apologies.
second full week, but third
Second
week
full
in
week, but
total.
yeah.
Um,
You're absolutely right. But yeah, you got Minnesota Lynx 4-0. You got Liberty 3-0. Seattle Storm 3-1. Phoenix Mercury 3-1. You got the Valkyries. They got two great wins. They're 2-1. Atlanta Dream 3-2. Indiana Fever 2-2. Las Vegas Aces 2-2. Sparks 2-3. Mystics 2-3. Chicago, Dallas, and Connecticut all haven't won a game yet. So I don't even want to talk about Chicago. As soon as I said that, you said, or you want to talk about Dallas?
I mean, Connecticut has lost 4, but I feel like their 4 losses have been better than Dallas and Chicago's 4 losses. If
Oh,
that
for
makes sense. Like
certain.
Connecticut has been in every game. They've had a
Yeah.
chance to win every game. They could have won the
Yeah.
first game against the Mystics. Um, they didn't play terrible against the Aces, and I know I'm missing the game in there. I think they played the Dream twice, and they played them pretty well as well. So, um, and on that, in all actuality, I don't think the Sun are in the same position as a team like the Wings or the Sky, because the Wings and the Sky had higher hopes coming into the season,
Yep.
especially Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago has looked really bad. Um, their 2 quote unquote top players haven't looked really good, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
Um, it's been kind of disappointing to see how they've come out and started the season. I know it's early. Um, they're 12th in points per game. They're 12th in assists. They're 13th in offensive rebounds. They're third in rebounds. Good rebounding team. Not a good shooting team. Not a good scoring team. Like, I just, I don't really know how they fix it. I mean, I guess, players will start playing better. That's really your only way you can.
Yeah.
But I'm looking and it's just like, I don't know. Like, they don't really have someone on the perimeter that they could trust to go get them a bucket. And as much as we're as hopeful as we are of Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese, progressing and getting better, I just don't think they're ready to be the 2 leaders of a team off the get-go. Um, Angel Reese currently averaging 9 points, 13 rebounds. See if I can find the shooting splits real fast. She shot 35% in one game, went 0 for 8 in another game against Liberty, and then shot 45% against the Sparks. Um, and Camilla hasn't been that much better. Yeah, I think the Sky are gonna regret trading the picks that they did, especially trading the pick that should have been Sonya Citron. Um, in real time, we were like, we don't know about that, and then as time went by, we were like, okay, I guess they're trying to compete. They feel good about what Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso can be. And granted, this doesn't mean they can't be that or they're not great or they can't be great in the future, but it's hard to build around 2 post players who play in the same spot, and neither of them are dominant offensively.
Yeah.
Angel Reese is dominant on the glass, but that's about it.
Yeah.
In terms of shot making, she's not very good. Let's just be honest.
Let's keep it a
In terms of
buck.
putting the ball in the basket, she's not very good at it.
Let's keep it a buck.
Camila Cardoso can be good, but can you name a post move that she does often?
No.
That she feels like, oh, she gets the ball in the post and is like, all right, this is my go-to move.
And like she get
If your
no.
2 post players that are supposed to be the leaders of your team don't feel comfortable scoring in the paint, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, no, that's bad because they're both bully ball type of players.
And it's a lot of bullies in the league.
Yeah.
Good luck pushing Bree Jones around.
It's not.
Good
It's not
luck pushing
college.
Jonquel Jones
It's
around.
not college
Good
no
luck
more,
pushing
gang. It's
Brittany
not.
Griner,
It's not
Ezzy
China.
Mabagor, Nakafisa Collier. You're not pushing none of them around. This is a bigs league. You're not pushing none of them around.
They're not
Your
going for.
best bet is playing the wings and playing Mike Hines Allen. That's your best bet.
Mm.
Because even you play Connecticut, you got Tina Charles. You play Golden State, you got Timmy Fagbenle.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. You play the Aces, you got Asia Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Kia Stokes ain't good at offense at all, but she plays some defense.
Defensively, shit. New
So
York, you got the skyscrapers out in New York.
they just throttled. They just beat the brakes off of them, so they already know what it is out in New York.
Come on now.
So I'm looking and I'm just, I don't know.
Even
I don't know what you
LA got a
do.
good little big core down there.
Look, I got love for the Sky. I got love for Angel Reese. Got love for Camilla. They obviously they can turn it around. We've seen teams start out 0-8, 1-9, turn it around. But
The Scott
from
himself
what I've
went
seen
0
so
eight
far,
and won the championship in the same season. Not saying this team will,
they went
but
8-8, not 0-8.
they went 8 and 8. I thought they went 0
You
and 8.
think Candace and them lost 8 straight games, gang?
I thought they did.
No, bro. They was like 500 the
They
whole season.
did.
They
They
were super
lost like
inconsistent
7
that year.
straight games or something like that. They lost like
I
a
don't
number
think
of
they
games in a
started
row.
0-8 game.
Not started, but I know they lost like 7, 8 games in a row that season. I remember I brought it up. Man, no, I'm not about to bring it up because I don't want to bring this team up because we talk about this team every episode, and I don't need to get into another argument with you about this team. So no, but yeah, they lost like 7 straight. I
They
want to
did
say.
have a 7-game losing streak and a
Okay, there it
7-game
was.
winning
That
streak.
that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. And they ended up
But I
winning.
don't think they
Ended up
started the
winning the
season
championship.
0-7.
No, I don't think they started the season 0-7, but they lost 7 straight. And I remember we had
So
similar
yeah.
concerns.
And I remembered it because they finished the season 16-6. 16-16. So they were literally 500 all season.
Yep, and they were the
Yeah.
what 7th seed
I think
or
so. Did
6th
they play
seed.
Connecticut first round?
So they had to play first round because
Or
it
no,
was
they
between
played
them
the
and the
Lynx.
Mercury. Okay,
They played the Lynx and then got in and
it
then
was
played
between them and the Mercury, and
Connecticut.
those are the only 2 teams. Because I remember that because they were the 2 teams that had to play every game of the playoffs. Shoot, the Mercury didn't even play on their home court. They had to play at what's the school out there? Was it Grand Canyon University? They had to play at
Yeah. Yeah.
for a
So
playoff game.
they ended the play as a 6
Put
seed.
up a
They
damn concert.
beat Dallas in the first round, 81-64. Then they beat the Lynx 89-76, and then they played Connecticut. Um, in the best of three, beat them 2-1. Or sorry, beat them in the best of five. Wait, no. What? This one says best of three series, but they won the series 3-1.
That's weird.
They won the series 2-1, right? So,
Yeah.
and then obviously they beat the Mercury in 4-20 series.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
But yeah,
Yeah, Chicago's got to need help.
badly. It's only
Yeah,
4 games, so I'm not trying to, push it too
it's not a
much and,
big
and, and
sample
get too over
size.
dramatic, but
Nah.
it looks bad. It doesn't look good at all.
Nah.
Um, and I don't really know how you fix it. Like the player on your roster just have to play better. That's really it. Like Kia Nurse has to make shots. Ariel Atkins has to be better than she's been. Courtney Vandersley has to turn back the clock. Like you're asking a lot.
Yeah.
You're asking a lot.
Yeah.
You're asking Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso to be the best 2 offensive players on your team.
And
You're
aren't
asking a
that's not
lot.
their specialty. They're defensive players.
They're not ready. They haven't shown to be ready for that yet. They
Yeah.
could turn around and have a great stretch of games
Yo, 2 years from
and be
now,
like, hey, we're
they
ready.
sky's the limit for them. You know,
Today,
like 2 years,
no.
they could be amazing offensive talents. But as of today, this current day, as of May 27th, 2025, I'm not seeing it happen.
Mm-mm.
I'm not seeing it
But
happen.
then the Wings, I just don't think they know what their identity is. Granted, they're winning right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit of
They're playing
weird
good today.
with their flow sometimes.
Yeah, it's just it's weird because I feel like at times they want to try to play through Paige, and then at other times they're like, oh, Enrique hasn't gotten a shot in a while. Let's get her a
Yeah.
shot. Or she just, she's like, hey, I haven't gotten a shot in a while. I'm gonna get myself some shots.
I'm gonna get mine.
And when she gets into that mode, it's ugly. Um, Especially if she's not making shots. Um, and the defense hasn't been good either. That's another problem. They haven't been good
Mhm.
defensively. If you're not good defensively or offensively, you're not going to win games. That's just as simple as it is.
Simple as
Um,
that.
I don't know exactly. how they fix it because I mean they're beating Connecticut right now by 16, but again, this is one of the other teams that are winless. So
Yeah.
I'm not putting huge
Somebody
stock
got
into
to
this
win, damn
game,
it.
even though this is Paige's best game so far.
Shout
Going
out
into half, she
Paige.
had 15, 4, and 5.
Paige back at home.
So
Or already
definitely
or
excited to
already in
see that. Oh
Connecticut.
yeah, they are in Connecticut.
Yeah, Paige
Um,
back at home.
I just let me see if I can find
AZ at
some
the game.
notes from games this week. I have no idea. I can't.
It would have
Um,
shown on the screen by now.
they played um they played Atlanta. Today's Tuesday, so Saturday. Um, they played Atlanta. I will say Paige could average like 9 to 10 assists if players made more shots. She's gotten a ton of wide open shots for her teammates, and they just haven't been able to make them. Um, against the Wings, Enrique had just 3 shots at half, or against the Dream, sorry. Enrique only had 3 shots at halftime. Um, and I don't feel like they have an sorry. I don't feel like they have a solidified first option. Like they don't know if they want Enrique to be the first option. They don't know if they want Paige to be the first option, and they're still trying to figure out how to navigate what kind of offense they want to run. And granted, you don't get a ton of time in training camp to figure things out like that, but there has to be a better balance. The coach has to have something in plan, something in play to where it's like, this is what we do, this is how we're going to do it until we figure out what is the absolute best thing for us to do. Um, they played against the Lynx. Um, the Wings, or sorry, yeah, the Wings had a chance to win the game. Really costly mistakes and confusion late offensively. Paige was 3 of 11 in that game. Um, she had 12 points, 10 assists. Could have had more than 10, like I said earlier. Enrique was 8 of 20 in that game. Dejanay went 3 of 9. I asked that, and that was last Wednesday. What is the identity of this team? Watched 2 more games. Still don't know what the identity is. Um, I feel like they're caught in 2 different formulas or 2 different I don't want to say eras, but 2 different timelines of trying to, let Paige run the show, see what she can do as the rookie, and then you also still have a player that's all WNBA, one of the best players in the league, and you don't want to hinder anyone. You don't want to hinder Paige's growth, but you also don't want to hinder what Enrique does well. Um, so that's really what I'm looking at for the Wings. It's just they got to figure out what suits them best, what kind of brand of basketball they need to play. And I feel like once they do that, they'll be able to at least be in more games to have opportunities to win games. But um, there's some moments where the team looks really bad.
Yeah.
Like the team isn't as bad as the record shows on paper, but there are definitely times throughout certain games where it's like, damn, they don't know how to score at all. Like they can't like and the offense is clunky. It's players trying to do stuff that they don't need to do. It's players that are some players are trying to be too passive. Some players aren't passive enough. Like it's just a weird combination of things. And I think bringing in a new coach that hadn't coached in this league before might not have been the best idea for a team like this. So panic meter for like the Sky would be like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
For the Wings, I would say like 5, just because they have more at this given moment. But you only got about a week, maybe 2, before it gets to like, all right, season's basically over at this point because you go 2-10, 2-11. There's too many good teams in the league this year for you to make up ground and get back in the playoff conceding. So
Yeah. I
you
agree.
got to start, you got to start getting into it early, getting into. Obviously, they don't have a lot of practice time, but you got to figure something out. Like you're a professional coach, figure it out. They hired you to make it work, so you got to make it work. That's you get paid to do it, so you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's
Simple as that.
an unforgiving job, but you chose to do that job. So
Yep.
there's always the eyes are gonna be magnetized because you have Paige Beckers on your team. You have Enrique Gumbawale on your team, so it's gonna be casuals that love watching the team. If y'all don't look good, people are gonna be looking like, "What's up?" Like you got two great players, you got good pieces around them in DeJounte, Alyssa Smith, Maisha Hines Allen, Maddie Stigers, Isaiah James off the bench. You still got Tierra McCowan. Um, Everybody gonna be looking around like, "What's the problem?" And it's not gonna take long for people to realize that the coach ain't doing what they're supposed to do at this point.
Yeah, man, definitely. And with the small sample size of the W, with the season being as short as it is, and over a stretch of 44 games, it's a lot to critique. It's a lot to look at. Like every game matters that much more. We only got four. We're only 4 games in. 40 more games left to go for a lot of these teams. But this, I mean, you gotta figure out your changes quick. You know, it's a short season. You can't. It's no time to waste. Like the wins now are gonna matter later. So yeah, but team I'm worried about really, I'll say the Aces. I ain't too worried about the Aces, but I'm worried in the sense of how they look in certain games against certain teams. So they did not look good in that Storm game at all. Not even for Schmidt. Maybe for that first
Storm was
half,
blowing them out
but
from the start, for real,
yeah,
for real.
yeah,
It was nasty. It was
yeah,
nasty. It didn't take long for the Storm to start putting feet
yeah.
together.
And I'm not like I said, I'm not tripping too much about them, but it's like the concern is there because this isn't the Las Vegas Aces team we know we have known to know. This team wouldn't struggle against a team like that Washington Mystics team that they faced last week. This team wouldn't struggle or wouldn't lose the way they lost against the Seattle Storm. At least not that Seattle Storm team. But we gotta find out and figure out who this Las Vegas Aces team is because maybe they are. You know, um, just needs to be consistency there from them. I mean, they're a good defensive team on paper. Well, they're a good defensive team in general between Jackie and Asia and Kia. But it's like I'm a little worried about how Jewel fits. You know, Chelsea Gray is still Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray is still point guard, full general, best passer in the league still, and runs the offense efficiently. But it's a matter of the other pieces clicking together and making sure this team runs smoothly. Um, I'm seeing Becky go towards the bench a little more. Emphasis on little.
She went to the bench because they were getting beat by 30.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she did that, Liz Kelly scored 6 straight points. Oh, crazy. She knows how to play basketball. Shocker. And she knows how to score. Something you ain't had the center position since Candace Parker retired.
Come
Go
on
ahead.
now, like gang, like I mean, I know she didn't play last year, but we gotta remember who we talking about here. This is Elizabeth Kitley, okay? This is Liz Kitley from Virginia Tech. All right, same Liz Kitley. She's on the other side of the country. Same Liz Kitley
I
now,
know
the one that
Becky Hammond
led.
said she wanted to ease her in, but I get that. But you can ease her in by still playing her.
Come on
Not
now,
playing her at all and easing her
come
in.
on now, stagger the minutes. You a
Player
coach. You a head
4 minute
coach. You a
spins,
championship head
4 minute
coach.
spurts.
That came from a championship pedigree.
If they wanted to, they would.
Plain and simple.
If they wanted to, they would.
Plain and simple. I couldn't have said it any better. But
I
yeah,
mean, it's as simple as that. I think for the Aces, I mean, they're to the point where if one or two of the 4 players of their core don't play well, it's going to be a tough night.
yo,
And Asia's going to be great every single night because she's Asia Wilson. She's the best player in the league.
Aiden freaking Wilson.
Chelsea Gray, even if she's not scoring the ball well, she's going to be a great playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But if Jackie or Jewel are shooting poorly, that puts a damper on the team, and you got to play them so many minutes that when you put the other players in, you don't trust them as much because you're not playing them as much.
Yeah.
Um, Defense isn't as good as it normally is. Um, the Storm will really get in whatever they want. Nneka Ogwumike was cooking them. Gabby Williams had the best game of her season. Skylar Diggins has played great all season. Um, to start the season, I should say. Um, but I mean, everyone felt comfortable. Erica Wheeler was out there doing whatever she wanted, just
Yeah.
mixtaping it out there.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. Somebody said this is the first game they had ever watched WNBA, so they thought Erica Wheeler was better than Asia Wilson. That's how that's how bad that game was, and that's how much Erica Wheeler was hooping the other night. So if that tells you anything, that means
Boy,
that
that
defense
music
for the
caught
Aces was
Eric and
not
Will
doing
on
it
a
what
good
they were
night.
supposed to do. Come on, like I'm like, look, the way they was playing, I don't know if I blame them. Now Asia still did her thing, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it should never be to that point. And our guy Bailey asked us if we thought the Aces had fumbled Asia's prime or is fumbling Asia's prime, and we both said no, but there were definitely times and there are definitely things that we can look to and say, hey, they may be better off right now had they had made some better decisions. Obviously, they've always looked to put stars around her. They put Liz Cambage around her. They put Chelsea Gray around her, which that one worked out. The first didn't. They had a J.
Candace. They
Erica
brought in
Hamby. They let
Candace.
her go. They had a Alicia Clark. They let her go. They had a Raquana Williams. Things went badly there legally, so
Terribly.
they couldn't keep her. Um, they had players that were great off the bench, and they just either didn't want to spend the money to keep them, or they couldn't afford to keep them because you paid the core. You paid Kelsey Plum, you paid Chelsea Gray, you paid Asia Wilson, you paid Jackie Young. That that led to 2 championships. But when you have a player as good as Asia Wilson, who still has you in position to do that, if you add the right pieces around and you bring certain pieces there or keep certain pieces there, she may have she may have 3 at this moment. They may have won last year again. They may have had a three-peat. Now, I will say the Aces have been contending since 2020. They've been, and I would say probably even the year before that, they just didn't make it to the championship series or whatever. But 2019 is when they felt like, okay, we have a chance to contend in this league.
Yep.
2020, they got to the finals, got swept. 2021, they lost in the semifinals to Phoenix. 2022, they won their first 2022. They won the championship, right? It was 22 and 23. Or am I tripping?
What's when they went to the chip?
Yeah, 22, 23. They won. 24, the Liberty won. Yeah. So, um, right?
Yeah, because they didn't lose to the Liberty. I thought they lost to the Liberty in the
Yeah.
championship. No, but they lost to the Liberty in
No,
the semifinals, which felt like the
semifinals last year.
championship.
Yeah, cap.
A lot of people said, "Hold on, no." A lot of people said winner of that series, winning it all.
But it was
A lot of people said that, but see, at the same time, a lot of people were sleeping on the links.
the Lynx had cooked the Aces all last year, and yeah, I'm not going for that.
Okay, then don't.
I seen people saying they wanted they didn't want
Or saying that
Royce
that should
or
have been the
the
finals
Sun
matchup.
to be the team to be in the finals because they didn't think it was going to be good basketball. But that's because they don't know basketball.
That too. A lot of people
Shocker.
don't know basketball.
Like, there's no way you saw those 2 teams and you didn't think the Liberty and the Lynx would be great basketball. It ended up
Exactly.
being some of the best basketball we've ever seen. So,
Yeah,
um,
that we're still talking about today.
oh, you got to make that better. Um, yeah, for the Aces, time will tell with them. I don't know. I'm not. I would say it's probably a 3 or 4 panic meter for them. But things do have to change. Like Jewel has to be more efficient. I've been saying it since the trade happened. I said it in the season preview. I said it last week. She has to be efficient, and you're getting easier shots than you ever have before. Playing with the Ace Wilson, play with the Jackie Young, play with the Chelsea Gray. You gotta make shots, man. You gotta make shots. Jackie Young's got to be more aggressive. She's got to be herself. Don't allow yourself to take a step back when you don't need to. Just be yourself. Just play basketball. And Becky Hammond has to put the team in better positions to win. In terms of using the depth. If you don't feel like you have the right bench players, you got to go find somebody that you feel like can come off the bench and play well.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't protect certain players. Um, in the draft. You lost two players that could have been key players off the bench for you, and Tiffany
Yep.
Hayes and um, Kate Martin. I mean, I don't know, man. You got to figure it out. You got what you got at this point. There's not a ton out there in just the free agency pool. But if I'm the Aces, you gotta be looking around like these other teams have caught up. Can we still are we still as good or better than these other teams that we were, at one point miles ahead of? At
Yeah.
one point it was
Teams
just the
caught
Aces
up.
and Liberty. Last year
It
was
was
the
just the
Aces,
Aces
Liberty, and the
living.
Lynx.
Yep.
This year is like 6 or 7 teams that feel like we have a chance to win the championship.
Yeah. Because I mean, hey, them teams got better for sure. For sure. I mean, Liberty getting Natasha Cloud for a bag of chips, if that, got it for nothing. Now look at it,
Well, they did trade for
flourishing,
him.
flourishing, looking like the best offseason addition, at least in my eyes, so far. But she's definitely had her stamp and her impact on this New York Liberty team. I feel like she's um, surpassed expectations for her role with this team, in my opinion. If I were to say so myself,
I can see that.
but yeah,
Um, Now Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks. Panic meter for them. You feel confident that they can, you know, keep the boat afloat during the stretch, or do you feel like they're gonna be, like, oh, we need her to come back, we need her to come back?
I think one or two things could happen. With Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston still healthy and playing, I feel like they'll be fine for the most part. It just would be a matter of like this would be a test to see how they look without Galen Clark. And I don't want to say I'm glad this is happening, but it's like it's good that this is happening for them because this is a time where we can see what this team really is outside of her, or see how much she really elevates this team. See how much of just I don't know, just it's something when it's always something about whenever a key player on a team like this goes down in injury and seeing how they look without them on the court. So I'm interested. I'm tuned in. Not that I wasn't tuned in, but I'm interested to see how they look in these next couple of weeks without Caitlin.
Yeah. I feel like you said, with Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston being there, and Natasha Howard. Natasha Howard's been really
Yeah,
good this season. Um,
Lexi Hall
I
is seeing
think they have the
improvement.
players. I was about to say, I've done notes for each game that I've been watching live, and in two different games for the Fever, I've written down Lexi Hole progression question mark, and not saying like, oh, I don't see it. That's meaning I've seen it in both games, like shot creation wise, not just like
Yeah,
3-point shooting. I'm talking about like making plays off the dribble and scoring off the
yeah.
dribble by her, like on her own creation. I've seen
Unrivaled,
her do it
man.
multiple times in two different games, and I'm like, whoa, like if that's something that Lexi's able to do, that's huge for this team because the more creators you can have, the easier it gets for players like Aaliyah, Caitlin, Kelsey, and Lexi. You still have a Sophie Cunningham who can shoot the three ball well, and
Okay.
can make plays when need be. So I think they'll be fine. Um, Let me see what their schedule is over the next 2 weeks.
Sophie still
Um,
out.
no, Sophie's back. As
Okay,
far as
I know she was out
she
for
played, she
like a
played
week or
last game
so.
at least. Um,
Gotcha.
she played the last couple of games, I think. Um, Let me see if they play tomorrow. They play the Mystics.
Ooh.
So over the next couple of weeks, they play the Mystics in DC. They play the Sun. So two of the both of those games are winnable games. They play the Mystics again, Commissioner's Cup. Then they play the Sky next Saturday. no, the following Saturday, um, in Chicago, and then they play the Dream that following Tuesday. So they say it's 2 weeks, and I think that came out either today or yesterday, maybe. So 2 weeks from today would be the third and the ninth or 10th. So she would be back around either the Sky game or the Dream game. Um, and both of those are Commissioner Cup games. They have 5 straight Commissioner Cup games, and we definitely thought they had a good chance of being one of the finalists for the Commissioner's Cup game. So we're definitely hoping that she's able to get back during that, so she has a chance, or so that they have a chance, the best opportunity of having to say so and having a chance to be in that conversation. But I think they can do pretty well in that stretch. The Mystics twice, the Sun in there. Um, those are winnable games. Obviously, both of those teams have played well enough. Um, the Mystics have looked much better than people expected, but um, I think the Fever can go maybe 2-2 in that stretch, and they don't feel too bad about that. I don't think they go 1-3 or 0-4. I'd be kind of surprised. Um, but yeah, this, like you said, this is a time for um, Caitlin is a player that rarely ever gets hurt. I can't really ever remember her missing any time
No, she
over the
hasn't had
last
like a
couple of
major
years. So
injury in her collegiate career, or not in her basketball career, as far as I'm concerned. As far as
yeah,
I've known.
so it'll be it'll be a time where she can watch from the sideline and see different things that you can't see when you're playing or that you can't see on film. I know a lot of players that get hurt are sitting on the sideline and they're like, "Oh wait, I never noticed that, or I didn't see this." Or they can see like, "Oh, this is where I can help the team the most," things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm definitely interested to see how the Fever are able to navigate that situation. I've been really impressed with the Storm and the Mercury so far. The Mercury got them the first time they played. The Storm came back and got them the second time. The Storm have looked dominant at different times throughout the season. They're playing the Lynx right now. The Lynx are currently up, but Skylar, NECA, Gabby, Ezzy have all been really, really good. Um, Dominic Malonga has shown some flashes. Erica Wheeler has shown some different moments where she's looked really good as well. Lee Rue had a really good opening game. Hasn't really been able to get a ton of time outside of that. But they've looked really good. Even Alicia Clark has been really good for them. So um, they've got the right pieces around their core. Gabby Williams is getting more and more confident and more comfortable with each game. She's shooting the three ball really well this season as well. So that's huge for them. And then Alyssa Thomas, um, way she's been controlling things on offense and defense for Phoenix has been amazing. Satsu's playing free. And the role players have been really, really good for them as well. Catherine Westbeld, Alexa Held, um, Mo Akani, um, just everybody that has stepped on the court has helped Phoenix because they've needed it. Sammy Whitcomb, um, you know, they are a team that has two top players, three top players when Ka is healthy. And then the rest of the players outside of Sammy are players that haven't really had WNBA time. And they've all looked really good playing on a team that is looking to get in. They've all looked really good, in my opinion. So um, it's still early, but I've been really impressed with both of them so far. And the Valkyries as well.
Shout
Um,
out to the Valkyries, man.
they have looked really good. I've been really impressed with players like Carla Late, sorry, Janelle Salon, Um, Mo Billings has been good. Tiffany Hayes went down with the injury. Veronica Burton's been amazing. Really impressive with the way she's been playing on both offense and defense. Um, so yeah, those are just some teams. And then the Sparks are starting to get healthier. I think once Rakia Jackson is back, if they can get Cam Brink back somewhat soon, I think they feel pretty good about where they're at as well. So
Yeah.
it's shaping up to be a really good season with most of these teams being pretty competitive.
Yeah, I agree as well, man. A lot of good basketball in this play so far in this WNBA season. A lot of good basketball to be played. Definitely excited for it as we've seen certain players insert themselves in certain conversations. And we've seen how certain teams have looked so far. It's shaping up for to be a good season, man. It should be a very good season on our hands, man. Um, but yeah. Anything else you got to add to talk about?
No, that was it for me.
All right. I don't think I got anything to add either. Anyways, y'all keep it locked in here on Multiplicity Media. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Hoodie and Headband podcast show. We be back next week to talk conference finals, obviously. Probably NBA finals preview. Who knows? Seeing how this weekend shapes out. Yeah, some more WNBA talk. Y'all know where to find us, but if not, you see the apps on the screen. And until next time.
Appreciate y'all.